What am I going to do with all these eggs? Did you know you could freeze them? I've got 4 muffin trays that I've already lightly greased. We're going to crack 2 eggs in each bowl, and I'm going to add about less than 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt to the both of them, and I'm just going to scramble them up slightly. A little bit of salt, and that helps the yolk from coagulating so much when it's frozen. These are the extra large muffin trays. If you have just regular muffin trays, you probably fit about 1 egg in each. So I'm adding salt to my eggs, and that way I'll use those as scrambled eggs or maybe in baking. And if I didn't want to add salt, I could add a little bit of sugar, and you would use those in baking also. But I'm just going to add salt because I know it works, and well, that's just the way I'm going to do it. It's up to you. I've also heard that you can just go ahead and add the eggs and not add any salt or sugar. But since I've got quite an abundance here, I'm going to not take that chance. I know what works for me, and so this is the way I'm going to do it this time. That's a lot of protein and golden goodness right there. I'm going to cover these before I put them in the freezer. I'm going to go ahead and give these 24 to 48 hours in the deep freeze before I come in and take them and pop them out. And once I pop them out of the tins, I will put them in a container for long-term storage. And hey, don't forget to use up those eggshells. Don't throw them away. We're going to boil these up, and then I'm going to let them dry and crush them up into calcium powder for my chickens, dogs, or heck, even myself. Well, I finally removed my eggs out of the freezer. I am going to leave this plastic on. I'm just going to tip them upside down. I'm only doing 1 tray at a time, leaving the rest in the freezer. And I'm going to tip it upside down and put my hands over the tops to just kind of warm them up slightly so that they'll release. If I were to put these under hot water, they would get pretty liquidy on the bottom, and then putting them into a baggie of sorts, they get a little wet and watered down, or just runny. So I'm just going to slowly warm these up with my hands, try to get them to release, and then add them to the bag. Alright, I've got 1 out. I'm just going to put it in the bag and see if we can't get some more out. And then we want to get them back in the freezer right away. And it does help to use a knife around the edges also. And there we go. This gives me, there's actually 4 eggs here because I put 2 in each container, in each muffin tin. So I've got a dozen eggs right here. How wonderful. So I took out 1 egg and I'm letting it thaw. You can see it's still kind of frozen. I'm just going to get this mushed up until it's not frozen, and then we're going to fry it up and see how it tastes. So prior to using your frozen eggs, you're going to want to think ahead and put them in an area that they can thaw safely, and let them thaw probably about a ½ hour before you're able to go ahead and use them. Our pan is heating up with a little bit of butter. We're going to take our egg and put it in our pan. Scrape out all the last little bit of goodness there and fry this egg up. Now remember, it does have salt in it, so we're going to add just a little bit of pepper into it and see how our scrambled eggs turn out. Let's give it a taste. Just like fresh. So if you need to have something to do with eggs that you need to store for a long-term storage, freezing is one way. Hope you enjoyed the video.